Natalie here. I'm going to show you how to make this cute gift idea. I'll show you 3 different styles of flowers to decorate a picture frame with. You're going to need a picture frame, a hot glue gun, scissors, 3mm and a 4mm sized hook, and a tapestry needle, and some yarn, of course. Starting with a 3mm hook, we're going to make a magic ring. So you connect with your yarn, hook, go under the first string, over the second, pull the second under, twist, and then go over, and then under, and then pull through. And if you want a quick tutorial of just the specific stitches used in this tutorial, those will be linked below, but I'll try to go slow enough here. And we're going to do 10 single crochets into the magic ring. So insert your hook into the magic ring, grab the yarn and pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through both the loops on your hook. After we've tightened our ring, slip stitch into the first single crochet. So just insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. And then chain 3. And then we're going to do a treble crochet into that same stitch that we slip stitched into. So yarn over twice, insert into that same stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through. Should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, should have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both loops. We'll do that again. Yarn over twice, insert into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through. 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. 2 loops on our hook. And then yarn over, pull through both loops. And then we're going to do a picot stitch. So we'll chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain from our hook. And then we're going to do another treble crochet, but we're going to do it into the next stitch. So yarn over twice, insert into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And then one more for this petal. So yarn over twice, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then we'll chain 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch that we just worked the last 2 treble crochets into. And that's our first petal. And then we'll slip stitch into the next stitch and start all over again. So chain 3, 2 treble crochets into that same stitch, picot stitch by chaining 3 and slip stitching into the 3rd chain from our hook, and then into the next stitch 2 treble crochets, chain 3, and slip stitch into that same stitch. All right, and we'll do that 3 more times, so should end up with 5 petals total. And finishing up the last petal here. We'll still slip stitch into that same stitch and then also slip stitch into the next stitch, or the first stitch that we started in, and then chain 1 to fasten off, and then we'll weave in the ends to get them done and out of the way. And now we're switching to the 4mm hook. Start with a slip knot. So wrap around your finger twice, grab the back, pull it forward, and then pull the new back over and tighten. So we'll chain 4. And then yarn over, insert into the first chain, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, grab yarn over, pull through 2, should have 2 loops on your hook, and then we'll yarn over and insert into that same chain, grab the yarn, pull it through, should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, should have 3 loops on our hook, and yarn over and insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, should have 5 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, should have 4 loops on our hook, and then yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, and then we'll chain 1 to fasten off. And then we're going to put it in the center of our flower. So we're going to pull each tail end through. Just do it on opposite ends. And then we'll tie them together. I did 3, tied it 3 times, and then cut the excess tail off. And there's our first flower. Now we'll start on our second flower. We're switching back to the 3mm hook. This one's going to be a daisy, so we'll start with our magic ring, just like we did with the first flower. So we'll make 8 single crochets into the magic ring. And again, if you want a refresher on any of the stitches used, including how to make the magic ring or even the slip knot, in the description I have quick tutorials of those linked. And tighten our ring. And slip stitch into the first single crochet, and then we'll chain 8. And then into the 4th chain from our hook, we're going to treble crochet like we did with the last flower, so yarn over twice, insert into the 4th chain from our hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, should have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, should have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now into the next chain, we're going to do a half treble, which is similar. So yarn over twice, insert into the next chain, grab the yarn, pull it through, should have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, should have 3 loops on our hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's a half treble crochet. And then into the next chain, we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over once, insert into the next chain, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Into the next chain, we're going to do a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on our hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And then into the last chain, we're going to do a single crochet. So just insert and then grab the yarn, pull it through, 2 loops on our hook, and then yarn over, pull through both loops. And that's our first petal. And then slip stitch into the next stitch. So the next single crochet from the first round. And we'll do that same thing all over again. So chain 8, and then treble crochet into the 4th chain from our hook. And then half treble crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then half double crochet into the next chain, and then single crochet into the last chain, and then slip stitch into the next single crochet of the first round. We're going to do that 8 times total, so we'll end up with 8 petals. Finishing up our last petal, and we'll still slip stitch into the next stitch after we finish our last petal, which will be the first stitch that we worked into. And then chain 1 to fasten off. And gotta weave in our ends. And we're gonna make another bobble stitch just like we did with the last flower. So we'll do the exact same thing, and we'll do it with the 4mm hook as well. So if you need to go back, I'll have it time stamped. And gotta pull it through just like we did with the last flower, through both ends, on opposite ends, and tie on the back, and then cut off our excess ends. And onto the third flower. So you could do this with both sized hooks. I'm showing you with the 4mm hook, but I made my flowers with both size hooks. So we'll start with a magic ring, and then we'll do 8 single crochets into the magic ring. And slip stitch into the first single crochet. And then we're gonna pull that slip stitch taller, and then hold the yarn as you go, like hold the loops on your hook. So yarn over, insert, and then grab the yarn, pull it through, and then again yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, again yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then one more time, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and you're pulling those tall, and then yarn over, pull through all the loops on our hook, and then chain 1 to close it, and then we're going to slip stitch into that same stitch just to shape it, and this is gonna end up being the back side of the flower. And then slip stitch into the next stitch, do the same thing. So pull tall and pull all your stitches tall as you go. So yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 1, and then slip stitch into that same stitch. And we'll do that 8 times total. These are puff stitches. They're kind of like bobble stitches, but made with half double crochets instead of double crochets. And again, you can make this also with a 3mm hook. And once you've done your last slip stitch, we'll chain 1 to fasten. There may be a tail sticking out on the front side, and we'll just weave that in, push it through to the other side and weave it in. And weave it in our ends. And then we're going to do the exact same bobble stitch that we have been making. And this one will be for the center of this flower. So in the same way, we will pull our tail ends through on opposite ends of the center, and then tie 3 times and snip off the extra tail there. And all we have to do is glue our flowers on. And we're done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like and subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this. And thank you for watching.